Welcome to Community Connections with Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County. I'm just one of your humble hosts, Sean Boyle, and with me is
Ashley Mock.
And welcome to the half-hour television show, monthly television show.
Monthly television.
Thanks to a wonderful partnership with WLX TV, St. Lucie Public Schools channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, check out their offerings on your local cable channel. If you're watching it on cable and it's late at night and you're just trying to fall asleep, we get it. You're watching our show. Jump on YouTube, look up WLX TV, put in the St. Lucie so you make sure you get the St. Lucie Public School channel, and check out all the shows that we've done through the years.
There is a historical progression. We don't get better, we just get older.
Exactly, exactly. It's like dog years. We age rather quickly. But welcome to the show. It's all about connecting you, the viewer, to resources and things that are available in our great community we call St. Lucie County. Now, we at the Children's Services Council, as Ashley has already established, not media professionals, but what we do for our community is we have 5 focuses, and those focuses are: 1, making sure every baby's a healthy baby; 2, stopping child abuse before it happens; 3, keeping kids off the streets; 4, keeping them in school; and 5, keeping them off drugs, alcohol, and other risky behaviors. And I say that we focus on those and that we develop systems of care and fund programs that are available to all children and families in St. Lucie County.
That is right. And this year we are happy, we're excited that we are working with 54 programs that do the work in those priority areas that Sean talked about. And that's really what we kind of utilize this show for, is to introduce you to those programs and other community partners of ours. We have great guests today, plural, today, that we're going to talk about some of those things with. But there are, outside of the show, there are other ways that you can learn about those programs and those resources. Obviously, one is on our website at cscslc.org. But we also have Sean's props, these printed family guide to programs. So Sean's covering up the date.
I totally was trying to cover up the date.
I saw that. So this is actually last year's family guide to programs, but we are working on the updated version for the programs we'll be working with starting in October. Not a lot of changes for us this year, really, but this is where you can get a detailed look, kind of an overview of each program that we work with, along with contact information. So if you are looking for a resource for your family or to share with a friend or a coworker, this family guide is a really good place. We have these printed guides available, so if you have a location that those could be distributed, please give us a call, let us know. We'll be happy to bring these to you. Thank you, Vanna. There's actually a form on our website that you can fill out, and we will get that information and get some delivered right to you.
We can even take it up another level. If you want us to come deliver and speak to your group,
we can do that
in a very entertaining way. I mean, I know that's a subjective, but I think it's entertaining.
We do, and I should point out, so the copy that Sean has here is obviously in English, but we have these available in Spanish, Creole, and Portuguese. So if you have a need at your location for a specific language or multiple languages, we can make that happen too.
And the reason why I'm covering the date, you already mentioned, so come October, we're actually going to be adding 3 new after-school programs to this directory. That's why.
Very exciting.
That's why we haven't changed the date yet, because we got to add the new program.
We're working on it. It's a work in progress.
So it's the summer.
Yeah. Do you know how I know that? It's hot and it rains.
Yes, and that's not unusual for Florida, but when you say hot, it's like next level hot,
yes.
Right? And we're just getting started.
We are, yes. School is out, surprise.
School is out. And we want to thank everybody that came out. We sponsored with the St. Lucie Chamber of Commerce, Swing Into Reading, an event where we gave out tickets to like 1,200 children and families, and they were all able to get books. We're grateful for that partnership with St. Lucie Chamber, but also grateful for those of you that came out.
Yes, definitely. It was a good time.
And also speaking in regards to the Chamber, because it's the summer, all of our after-school programs are transformers. They turn into summer programs. We fund additional summer programs, but we also partner with the Chamber of Commerce to do our summer passports. Mm-hmm. So all of our summer camp attendees, instead of spending money to send them to Busch Gardens and Disney, which, don't get me wrong,
everybody
great experience, but we're taking taxpayers out of our community. We partner with the Chamber so they can explore all the cool things that are happening in St. Lucie County, such as Lisa's Kayaks, Oxbow, the Manatee Center, the Navy SEAL Museum,
so many
Sailor Key, all that fun stuff.
And I would actually, I'm glad you pointed that out. I would encourage you, any of our viewers, to go onto Facebook, and you can actually look up SLC Summer Passport, because our camps, as they're going out and having those experiences, they're posting pictures, and it's incredible to see. Even in this last week already, some of the things they've been able to do. I've seen pictures from the Children's Museum, from Lisa's kayaks, and sometimes we've heard the stories. There are some times where that's the first time that child has been to the river in our community. I mean, they could literally live blocks away, but that's the first time that they've had an experience on the water. And so we love the Summer Passport program and all of the businesses that have gotten involved in there. We really are excited about how much growth it's had in the last few years, and again, grateful to the Chamber for being a big partner in that.
Absolutely. And you mentioned social media. I know eventually we're going to work our way into there. It's the place where all things good happen.
Yeah.
It's a joke, but if you're on Facebook or Book a Face, if you're an Office fan, look up Children's Services Council, St. Lucie County. Make sure that you like and follow, but also, we don't do TikTok, and we don't do Twitter or whatever it's called. We used to.
X.
We strayed away from it, but we do Instagram, which is like
do.
Facebook without words. So if you're interested, if you're on social media, and you're like Sean, Facebook is for my grandparents, but I am hip and I will be on Instagram. Just look up St. Lucie CSC, and you can kind of get a behind the scenes look.
Yeah, very good.
And I say all that because I'm very proud that I produced our first reel.
You did. It was a good one too. So go check it out. It's a lot of fun.
So before we get to our guests, we got to do a little bit of business here. Every 6 months, we issue a document called our Program Accountability Report. I always joke that the middle name of the Children's Services Council, because children and services is already in the name, but our middle name is accountability. So you can look up this. It's on our website. But it goes through every single program that we fund annually, and it gives you progress. And I'm not going to lie, this is my edited copy. I grabbed it.
So there's
it
writing
has
on
some
it?
markups on it, but the final copy's on the I'm trying to find a page that doesn't have markup.
There you go. Okay.
This one has markup on it. So, but you can quickly look at the document. Find the program description, how much we funded, where they are with their budget, where they are with the population served, where they are with their outcomes. And again, it's just an accountability piece. We look at it so that we can provide resources to our programs to make sure they're successful, but we also publish it for the community because it is an accountability measure. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that you go to our website and, if you're not falling asleep from the show, grab this document. No, I'm just kidding. But grab this document.
This is a quick read.
It is a quick read. I mean, it's color coded, right? Green is good, yellow, a little caution, red is put on the brakes. But please check it out. And big shout out to Ashley, here to my right, Mel, and Tanya, because we totally redesigned the way it looked.
We did.
So very proud of this document.
Thank you.
All right, we have two guests. I'm going to start the introduction.
Okay, I like it.
So we have this entity, and they just looked at each other like, uh-oh, it's happening now. If you listen carefully, you can hear the teeth chattering.
It's time.
But we have this entity in our community that we were one of the original founders, and it's really, when you have multiple entities that are working on behalf of bettering children, and particularly when I'm talking about lots of entities, I'm talking about policymakers and funders. So the people that can implement policy to impact children, such as the school district, Department of Juvenile Justice, Children and Families, the counties, and then you have the funders like the Children's Services Council and the United Way. If you have them all at the same table and they're all singing from the same choir sheet, meaning they all have one strategic plan, that way we're not duplicating and we can make positive gains in regards to children if we're all on that same choir sheet. So in our community for 20 plus years, we have this entity called the Roundtable that is all the policymakers and funders that get together once a month to address issues that are happening in the community regarding children and developing a 5-year strategic plan. So again, that we're all on that same choir sheet. And there's way more involved in that. They have networks, they focus on teen health and economic sufficiency and juvenile justice, all that. They do so much more, and they have service providers that are on the steering group. But the overall entity is the Roundtable, which we're proud to partner with. We're proud that we actually provide them office space because it's that important that they exist in the community. Again, to make sure that it's one effort, one push, with multiple people all rowing in the same direction. I'm mixing up a lot of metaphors here. But that is what the Roundtable is, and we're very grateful because two of their initiatives, one of which we fund, the other one which we participate in, is Kids at Hope and Drug Free St. Lucie. Yep. And we have two representatives from both those initiatives with us. So now I will let you do the formal introduction of our very anxious and eager guest.
So obviously, Sean, even just from what you touched on, there are multiple layers to the work that the Roundtable does in our community. And we've always said, we don't do what we do alone. The Roundtable does not do what they do alone. It's a huge network of partners. And so we'll start with Joville. Joville drew the short straw today, I think. So we're going to start with Drug-Free St. Lucie, which I'm certain everyone has at least heard of. But you guys are doing some really cool things in the community, and we'll talk about a little of those and then kind of touch on one that's coming up that there's an opportunity for parents to get involved. So talk a little bit first about Drug-Free St. Lucie and how you guys work in the community, and then we'll kind of get to some of the things that are coming up.
Thank you very much. Joville Wharton, Project Coordinator for Drug-Free St. Lucie. Drug-free is within the name of the coalition, so that gives you kind of an idea, what our mission is. We want to create a community that's healthy, vibrant, and substance-free. And so we have lots of initiatives. We just recently had our Treasure Coast Opioid Awareness Summit. We had over 140 community residents who attended. We had speakers from not only local speakers, but we had speakers from the state. We had some consultants. It was good participation. So we address not only opioids, but we address primarily underage drinking and marijuana use, because those two substances are by far more used, in particularly alcohol, than the opioids. But we want to get ahead and work on prevention. So that's why we're involved with the opioids and prevention.
And so, and it's important because, you have kids in school.
I do.
My wife just retired as a teacher, now living her best life. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, you can't talk, the use of vaping and THC, marijuana and vaping and alcohol, and it's so important because, the climate around marijuana in the last few years, now there's medical marijuana, a lot of states are legalizing it, but it is absolutely terrible for a growing mind or brain, if you will, and that is our young people that are in the school system. And so you guys do a lot of prevention, and you kind of are like, as I described the Roundtable, making sure everything around children is all on the same choir sheet, you make sure that everybody that's addressing substance use prevention is kind of all rowing in that same boat as well.
Exactly. So a lot of our initiatives, we earmark, providing information to youth, but we also earmark providing information to parents and the wider community as well. And hence, that's why we have the Screenagers movies. And there are actually 3 of them. It's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy. And it ranks up there with Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, something else.
It's a trilogy. And so you are correct. You mentioned, the vaping and the marijuana use. We have to be able to send a message, however, that is not the norm in St. Lucie County. From appearances, it might seem as if it is, but not every young person is vaping. But we do want to provide that information to them and their parents about the harms of vaping. And if they are, what are some of the things they can do to make healthy decisions and healthy choices?
And I think you're right, because, and I didn't mean to imply that, the school system, it's everywhere. 'Cause you're right, it's not everyone. But let's face it, we've all been teenagers before.
Yes.
There is, that little like, oh, let me just try it or let me experiment. And we don't even want kids to do that. And you do a great job of teaching parents like how to recognize it, because it's not, I'm old, right? Like it used to be, not that it ever happened in my school, but it did. But like, it's entirely different. It was flour, it was in a baggie. Now it looks like a USB device and it has THC in it. So it's not that we're saying that marijuana is everywhere. We're just saying that parents and children need to be vigilant to make sure that they stay away from it because of all the harmful effects.
And you mentioned earlier social media. We all have social media accounts. In the Screenagers movies, they address how technology and social media is impacting.
Play a part,
Exactly. So the first movie looked at the digital age overall. The second movie looked at mental health. And now the third movie that we're showing is going to look at alcohol, marijuana, and other illicit drugs, and how the digital age and social media is influencing usage of these substances.
And I think too, and we've talked about this before in our own programming, that we have other programs that address substance use and children. And I feel like as we have gone on, the age that we're targeting is getting younger and younger and younger.
Yes.
And that's unfortunate, because as we talked about, like in those growing and developing brains, the alcohol and substance use can really have an impact. And so I think that kind of the twofold approach, talking to children and talking to parents, is so important, because
at the same time,
we all need to be aware of what's happening and what it looks like.
And I don't think it's necessarily bad that it's younger, because you're giving, it's not just, you're not just going in and be like, hey guys, marijuana is bad.
Right.
I mean, you know, we know say no to whatever, that never works.
It didn't work,
But you're building resiliency skills that are crucial, that every child, you know, get those skills even at a very young age as well.
Yeah. So you talked about screenagers, but we have a showing coming up. So
next week Thursday, June the 20th, we're partnering with the city of Fort Pierce. So the first two screenagers were shown in Port St. Lucie, and so that was my dream to have it shown in Fort Pierce. So we're gonna be at the Riverwalk Center.
Oh, nice.
Next week Thursday, 6 o'clock to 8:15 p.m.
Okay, do we need to sign up to be there?
Yes, you need to sign up. You need to reserve your tickets. It's going to be a fun night. We're going to learn a lot, but we're also going to have fun. We're going to, Sean, you were at the first one.
I was.
We're going to have a DJ.
Popcorn,
We're going to have popcorn. We're going to have pizza. We're going to have giveaways, gas cards, book bags. Yes, so it's going to be a fun time.
And I'm assuming that our viewers could find more information about that on your social media.
On my social media page, yes, Drug Free St. Lucie on Facebook page or the Roundtable page, Children's Services Council's Facebook page as well.
You know, when I was there, I don't remember having pizza. I do remember the popcorn.
We had
and
pizza.
the DJ and the giveaway.
We had pizza. And we had Texas Roadhouse is also a sponsor. They came on board and they're providing us with the refreshments, the lemonade, and the iced tea.
Sarah Kirk and her
Sarah
crew.
Kirk, yes, thank you very much.
So,
Texas Roadhouse,
just one more thing. I know we want to get to give Amanda some time to talk about what she's got going on too, but one more thing I want you to mention, because my children are in middle school. Well, one is going to high school this year, but they got to experience this year for the first time Friday Night Done Right. So can you talk a little bit? Yes, they did, and I loved hearing about it. So can you
Southport Middle School?
They were at Southern Oaks.
Oh, they were at Southern Oaks?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So again, we want to be able to dispel the myth that all young people are doing substances, and we want to encourage young people to have fun in an environment without any substances. So one of the things that Drug Free St. Lucie does is partner up with schools to put on these fun events. So we provide them with the DJ, the 360 machine, we give out swag, etc., etc. And it's a fun time.
It was they really enjoyed it, and I was happy for them to be able to have the opportunity to do that at school. I thought that was really great. So thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
glad
welcome.
we got to talk about that.
Friday Night Done Right.
And they can find that out also by going to your social media. Obviously, it picks up more when school's back in session, obviously, but that's an exciting thing.
So encourage all the schools to reach out to Drug Free St. Lucie. Yes.
Perfect.
All right, so when we decided who was going to go first, we asked who was the most nervous, and then that person we're like, can go last. So, I'm joking.
She's not nervous anymore.
No.
I'm gonna take it away from her. So we talk often, I feel like, about Kids at Hope.
I think almost every day.
I think almost every day, about being a Kids at Hope community. If you have been to an event at your child's school, I'm certain that you have heard the Kids at Hope pledge, or that they have shared that with you, the Kids at Hope pledge. And they have some really exciting things that are happening kind of in that Kids at Hope front. My probably favorite thing that Kids at Hope does is the Tunnels of Hope at the beginning of school. So we'll just put a plug out there right now. Get ready for August, because we'll be coming for you. We need volunteers for Tunnels of Hope. But Amanda is here with us today to talk about Kids at Hope a little bit, and a really cool initiative coming up that's focused on mothers. So thank you for joining us. I know you're not nervous anymore. Sean took all of that away, right?
I know. I found that by talking about nervousness, it makes you less nervous.
That's true. It's true.
So maybe start, for anybody who's not familiar, which again, I can't imagine that that's any of our viewers, talk a little bit about Kids at Hope and kind of how you guys work in the community.
Absolutely. So Kids at Hope, we're based on, we're, a strategic cultural framework, but based on the concept that all children are capable of success, no exceptions. That's our big in all caps, many exclamation points after that. The no exceptions part really goes along with the fact that, those of us who work with children or for children in any capacity should be doing it for every child, no exceptions. That there's not any one child that isn't capable of success, and that version of success can, be different for every child, and that's okay, and that's good, and we can support that by being true treasure hunters and digging underneath the surface to find the diamond in each child, which is the gift in the child that the world needs. So, we're based in that, and so in that we talk about the support system of caring adults that surround a child in terms of the ACEs. Not the adverse childhood experiences ACEs as many of us in social services know it, but in the terms of the ACEs in a card deck. Basically defining the roles in a child's life, that each individual adult plays. We have the Ace of Hearts, which is that caring, parent or guardian that is responsible for a child's care 24/7. We've got the Ace of Clubs, which is the other caring adults that support a child. We've got our Ace of Diamonds, the adult who provides opportunities for a child to be successful, and the Ace of Spades, which is the adult that sets high expectations for a child. Now with that, we know, anyone who knows and is familiar with Kids at Hope, that the Ace of Hearts is really exclusive to one or two people in a child's life, parents or guardians. And so essentially, we came up with Mothers at Hope, the new initiative, which basically focuses on mothers exclusively, that Ace of Hearts for a child. Because if we want to say that we, support children, we have to support their parents too. Because that household, where children grow up is absolutely essential to a child's development. And
Sean, I always love when this conversation comes up, because Sean used to joke all the time that our kids do not drive themselves to school in their tiny cars and live in their tiny apartments,
condos,
and
yes.
There's a whole network of people that are supporting them, and so that
And we have to support them.
right.
Because they're molding our children.
Yes.
Exactly. So if you can claim to support children, but then you judge and condemn and don't give much support to their parents, well, not great.
Well, I mean, and us as, people that live in the community, if we're like, and I'm just making this up, those kids that live over there, they're nothing but trouble, they're going to amount to nothing. Well, guess what? They're going to live up to that expectation.
Exactly.
But if you look at them and say, hey, these kids can do it, they're good at this and they can succeed at whatever they do, they're going to live up to that expectation as well. It's really, what I like about Kids at Hope is it's not a program per se, right? It's not like, bring your child, this is your outcome, and the 10-6 times, and you graduate. It's a mindset that we as a community need to flip that switch to say those kids are at risk, to say those kids are at hope, and they've got something that we need to bring out in them for them to be successful. And that applies, as you said, to everyone in our community. And what's unique about the Kids at Hope, I'm sorry, we've worked with Kids at Hope for a long time. What's unique about St. Lucie and the Kids at Hope is we are one of the only communities that are a Kids at Hope community, which means, obviously you would think people that do the work that we do would be like, of course we believe in kids,
Right.
but it's gone bigger than that. It's gone to law enforcement, it's gone to cities, it's
The
gone to
school
hotel
districts.
management.
Yep.
Everybody's getting trained to understand that we refer to our kids as Kids at Hope, not at risk. That's huge.
Yeah. And so a couple of things. I know we want to talk about some Mothers at Hope things that you guys have coming up, but there are also opportunities for community trainings, or if there's organizations that serve children, you can come out and do community trainings, or Kevin as well. So do you want to just mention that and how to get in touch with you guys if that's something that anybody is interested in?
Yes, absolutely. So we do have one community training, which is open to the entire community, anyone who would like to attend, on June 20th. It's a very busy day at the Roundtable of St. Lucie County.
And then everybody's going to go to your...
Yeah.
Evening, yes.
There are different time slots, so you could have a full roundtable day. But it is, there's 2 time slots. There's one from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and then there's one from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. So 2 time slots available to work into your schedule however you see fit. You can find the information for the registration for that community training on our Facebook page at Kids of Hope SLC. So we also, as you mentioned, Ashley, we also come out to wherever you need, at whatever you need. We've done trainings as early as like 6:30 in the morning and as late as 8:30 at night for staff at any agency that serves children at any capacity, any school, to do those trainings. And if you're interested in a Kids of Hope training for your staff, we can be reached at our emails or on our Facebook page. My email is ademan@roundtableslc.org, and Mr. Kevin's is ksingletary@roundtableslc.org. So
Awesome.
we can be
Thank
reached
you.
there.
So let's talk about the Mothers at Hope event that's coming up too, because that's very exciting.
Thank you. So we have an ongoing group that is sort of a motherhood component for More Than a Game, which you all do extremely fabulous, that we partner with you all on, called Mothers at Hope. It is a peer support group for mothers with babies 0 to 24 months in that postpartum period, which is a really vulnerable time in a woman's life. As we all know, anyone who's had a child knows that's an extremely vulnerable period in a woman's life. Things kind of flip on their head and nothing seems normal anymore. And so, but it is all normal, and that's part of what we address in Mothers at Hope, is essentially helping mothers, have that safe space to explore the postpartum period in a culturally sensitive way. And we also connect mothers with resources in St. Lucie counties that serve families and can improve their family life and mental health. And we also move through a curriculum, Northwestern Mothers and Babies, which is an evidence-based curriculum that helps new mothers practice mindfulness and stress management in that time, which is
Excellent.
totally essential, because being a new mom is stressful.
So when is that group meeting? You have regular meetings for that group?
We do. So we have already started, but anyone is willing, anyone who is, willing to come at any point can come. We have on Mondays from 4 to 5 p.m. and Tuesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. at Graceway Village on Hartman Road in Fort Pierce. And the great thing is, Graceway Village is an incredible resource in itself in the community.
absolutely.
So
That's a very good point. Awesome.
And it's indoors.
and it's indoors, air
I'm just saying,
conditioned.
because for some reason I thought
it
it
is
was at a
summer.
park, and I remember thinking, at 4 o'clock, it's
It
got to
is
be
summer,
raining, right?
so we are there. Well, thank you guys both so much. I know there's a lot that we covered in a very short amount of time, so I just encourage our viewers to follow up. We share a lot of information on our Facebook page about both your initiatives and the roundtable, so always a place to find more for anybody that's looking.
Look up on Facebook, because let's face it, you're on Facebook. You may not admit it, but you're on Facebook. Look up Drug Free St. Lucie, look up Kids at Hope SLC, or you can even look up Roundtable St. Lucie County, because they also have a Facebook page.
They do.
Yes.
We want to thank you both for coming on.
Thank
It wasn't
you.
that bad,
Thank
right?
No, it wasn't. Thank you.
We want to thank you all for tuning in. Reminder, it's a monthly television show on St. Lucie Public Schools channel, WLX. We're grateful for that partnership, and a reminder that it's our children, our community, our future. Now more than ever, folks, we're all in this together. We'll see you next time.